Hey YouTubers, my name is xFACTOR. A little bit earlier today I was answering random questions over Twitter, which I tend to do from time to time. Then it came to me, hey, what if I have a Q&A? So people started shooting me questions back. So we're going to highlight some of these questions, answer them to the best of my ability, while we have some Battlefield 4 multiplayer conquest footage in the background, where I primarily run around as an infantry player. There is a couple epic moments here, and there is a land boat moment. Those are always epic, right? So let's get to the first question, which is brought to us by Mr. Callum. Kick-ass penguin you got there, by the way. And he asks, why did you start YouTube? And the simple answer is to help others understand and learn the game in a quick, non-frustrating fashion. There's a learning curve with every game. If I started playing League of Legends, I would get my face smashed in because I simply don't understand any aspect of the game. I'd probably jump on YouTube to figure out how to play certain classes, lanes, and counters. Well, that's why and how I started this Battlefield 3 YouTube channel, was just to help people with the mechanics, the simple thought processes, and understanding a lot of the things that can happen, and help you become a better player in the process. It was always a mentoring and teaching role for me, just like I do in real life, basically. But don't worry, all that stuff's coming back for Battlefield 4 because there's all new mechanics, and it's a whole new ball game. The next question is brought to us by Mr. Anderson. What are your thoughts on the first BF4 DLC being BF3 maps? That's a good one. I think I personally would prefer some other DLC, new stuff. Maybe the first one, maybe the second one, because Battlefield 4 is so new. I'm just excited to get my hands on new material, new maps, and whatever new modes they can think of. I'm excited for the second Assault expansion, but I think I'd rather prefer it just a little bit later down the road. What do you guys think? The Gunhand asks, do you have any tips or strategies for someone interested in starting a YouTube channel? The only advice I really have is play the games because you enjoy them. Make the videos because you enjoy it. The beauty about YouTube is there is no right way or wrong way of doing it. There is no right personality type. There is no right content. There's all kinds of entertainers, creators, editors, skill set guys that do tips, tricks, and tutorials. There is something out there that people are looking for at this very moment. The question is, do you enjoy doing it? Make sure you do enjoy playing the game and putting out the content, and that should bring you happiness. Other than that, be yourself and have fun with it. Let's talk hardware. Kyle asks, what do you think of AMD's new card and mantle technology? Will you be picking one up? The new AMD cards look beyond impressive, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the mantle presentation, including in how it's going to be rolled out in December with Battlefield 4. Hopefully, it means an even bigger boost of frames. But there's also something else on the doorstep from NVIDIA, which is proprietary product. That's G-Sync for monitors. It's got all the big heads, including John Carmack and the Dice Boys, extremely excited. It's all about fluidity between your GPU and your monitor. It's literally changing the way monitors work, basically. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that pans out. I will probably pick up an AMD card to play around with it, their new flagship one, but I'm really excited about G-Sync, actually. Chris asks, how much awesome sauce do you put on your bacon for breakfast? It's bacon. It can't get any more awesome. Matt Snow asks, what's the most underrated or overrated piece of PC gaming equipment or hardware? Making the assumption that you have a smooth and enjoyable frame experience, I think the most underrated thing is your sound setup. Do you have a good sound card? Is it set up properly? How about your headset? Do you have exceptional directional sound? Can you hear footsteps fastly approaching? And can you pinpoint where those enemy sounds are coming? That gives you a huge advantage in shooters. And what's overrated? Keyboards. Keyboards can definitely be overrated. Brandon Carroll asks, haha, why weren't you invited to the US versus Europe livestream event? And if you were, what's your squad? I actually was in fact invited. I would have played for the United States on October 7th. I got a very exciting email from a DICE representative, the same one who invited me to the DICE reveal event that I went to in San Francisco and met up with Level Cap and a ton of other great YouTubers and had a blast. This email told us the date this was happening, but it didn't tell us where and on what platform. So I got super excited. I talked with a couple other guys who were invited, said, oh man, this has got to be in California or Boston or Chicago again. Well, the next day rolls around and we're told it's in the UK. I then go look for my passport and notice it's expired. Not a big deal, right? Well, the US government shut down. Kind of a big deal. Then we figured out that it was going to be on Xbox One. I haven't touched a controller in probably about 3 years. it would have been a complete shit show. So I unfortunately declined my opportunity to go over to the UK and represent the United States while playing on the Xbox One. Actually, I would have been a floor mat for everybody else that plays on the console. Still would have been a lot of fun though. But hats off to everybody that's going over there from the US and EU. I'm going to make sure to watch it because it could provide some pretty epic and lulz-worthy moments. Zach asks, how's the youngest kid settling in? Well, she's getting really big. How big? She's almost as big as her sister that's a year older. This picture's 2 days old. That's Berkeley on the right, a.k.a. Turkey. That's Bentley on the left, a.k.a. Beans. Berkeley is only 3 pounds short of her sister, and she looks at her older sister every day with this glazed over look in her eye, drool running down her mouth, and I swear it says, I'm going to eat you if you're not careful. Little one chows on some food. Here's a great follow-up question from Tiger Lives from Brazil. How often do you need to have sex to make babies really fast? What is the best position? LOL. Any position that makes the magic happen is good by me, and variety is the spice of life. As for having the babies, the more the merrier. Some people have it once a day, some people have it 2 to 3 times a day. It's whatever makes you happy and gets the job done. Another Brandon asks, when you played Battlefield competitively, how much did you practice and what are some techniques and drills you ran? We would practice Monday through Friday for 3 to 4 hours a night. This wasn't time to work on your shot. That was public play. Go play Metro Bazaar, Sand Karkin, anything that you can do to work on your vehicle or your shot. When it was time for practice, it was all about scrimming. If you weren't doing well at a certain flag or a certain situation or trying to make a play work, then it was time to drill. If something wasn't right, it'd be 2v2, 3v3, fight flag to flag, fight one man down, 2v3, try to hold a flag, anything that could get high repetitions of situations and placements for infantry players. Not to mention figure out all the spawn points, head glitch spots, and counters. It was a lot of work, and again, several hours a night, Monday through Friday. Daniel I Pop Wheelies on Excitebite asks, how do you like the Roccat goodies? Review? For those of you who do not know, Roccat sent me several mice to choose from, a keyboard, and some other goodies, and I'm thoroughly impressed with both mice that they sent. So much so that I'm actually using one over my Death Adder 2013 for the last 3 weeks, and it's here to stay. I will be doing full reviews of these products, all the hardware that I'm using, including some of the hardware that I'm not, but don't worry, the reviews are coming. But until then, I'm on a boat, and Jose asks, will you be using Shadowplay instead of DxTory from now on? I've used DxTory for most of my Battlefield 3 footage on Windows 7 64-bit. It's got a ton of codec solutions, works great with Sony Vegas, and has tons of audio and video options. You name it, it's got it. But when I upgraded to Windows 8.1, the GUI got super buggy, and most of my codecs that I really liked wouldn't work. There's a couple of these Matrox codecs that I use that I just can't get to work. So that sent me on the hunt. Shadowplay is coming out in a couple of days. That's a free download from NVIDIA. The question is, does it have multiple audio options? Does it have tons of video and codec solutions? And will it work properly and render out smoothly and pretty in Sony Vegas? There's this 3-part harmony that recording software has to provide for you to be extremely happy. DxTory did the job in Battlefield 3 under Windows 7 64-bit, but it fell short in 8.1, which led me to the software I'm using now called Morillus Action. And it seems to be working really well with Windows 8.1, renders out pretty smooth, and looks pretty good on YouTube. The question is, how will Shadowplay compare? Being free definitely doesn't hurt. I just hope it's loaded with options, much like DxTory was. If you guys enjoyed this Q&A, let me know down below. This is actually a lot of fun to make, and I definitely wouldn't mind making more of these. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you did, the old thumbs up. And the way we're going to do the next one, if enough of you guys give this the old thumbs up, is just start asking the questions down below or send them over to me on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter yet, my handle will be linked down below as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon.